Hey everyone, welcome back to the Donut Collective. My name is Blake, and with me today is Connor.
Hello there.
And the two of us are tackling a My Little Pony story. Gotta love My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Every time we come back, it's funny. Every time we come back, it always seems to be a similar setup. I don't know why that is. Every time, it always seems to be some person who just doesn't fit in, and they warp to My Little Pony, and then they proceed to not get a job, except for Stabs. I mean, he got a weird job, but I don't know why. I don't know why that is. It's so strange.
Huh. Funny that.
This one does have something very spectacular about it, though, namely the title, a spectacular accurrance.
That's good.
Not occurrence.
That's a good title.
Accurrance.
Accurrance, yeah. So this is A Spectacular Accurrance by Pegasisters, and let's get this going. I think we're going to try and read this whole story in one video, unless we, riff the shit out of it and have gone a while at the midway point. But yeah, so let's get started with Chapter 1. As I got home, I dumped my bag in my room. I did my usual tasks, then hopped into bed with my laptop. Even though it was still early, I intended to spend the rest of my evening in bed.
Yeah, that's the brony way.
Bedridden for most of their life, voluntarily.
Writing fan
voluntary
fiction, and reading fan fiction, and maybe writing some more fan fiction, and reading a little bit of fan fiction.
My brother was out with my mom, and my dad was at the theater, so I had the night to myself.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad goes to the theater by himself.
Yeah, you know. Usually when you see that in a story, it's like a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like you're gonna go to the home theater system and turn on the Playboy channel. Like some sort of '90s John Hughes joke. But here, it's like, oh, I have the house for myself. Time to watch some My Little Pony.
Yeah, because the first thing I did was turn on My Little Pony.
I wouldn't have done that otherwise.
I sat watching the entire first season. As I neared the 20th episode, my eyes began to droop. Each episode's 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
So, as you near the 20th episode, you've spent 6.5 hours watching My Little Pony.
And
right?
Your point is?
I don't know. I'm just laying that out there. Yeah. Crazy. I tried to fight the sleepy feeling coming over me, but I eventually gave in. I slid into a deep sleep Rarity's voice still playing in my ears. I jerked awake to a loud clatter down in the kitchen. My dog was sitting next to my bed, pawing at my hands for comfort.
What? I heard a loud clatter down in the kitchen. I heard such a clatter, I rose from my bed to see what was the matter,
Yeah,
night before Christmas and all that. But then you'd think it was the dog, but the dog... it's going to be like that horror story where she goes into the kitchen and the dog is killed and it says humans can lick too on the wall.
Yeah, my dog was sitting next to my bed pawing at my hands for comfort.
Or humans can paw.
Yeah, I don't know. I got out from under my sheets, my earphones still on and carrying my laptop. I was going to investigate what was wrong, but I had to keep watching My Little Pony while doing it.
Yeah.
I turned on the hallway light and peered down the corridor, my dog by my side. I thought I saw a faint silhouette turn to look at me with glinting eyes and vanish. Shrugged and returned to bed.
I saw a literal fucking ghost, but I was like, alright, I'm gonna head out.
It was just haha, it was nothing, never mind.
No. I walked outside and I saw a shiny demon in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And I said I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, we're still quoting The Night Before Christmas, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I had been asleep for an hour. I turned of my light and snuggled into my quilt, still clutching my laptop. Jesus.
I think you've got a problem.
Did you go to the bathroom, with your laptop?
Yeah, took a shower with my laptop. Holding it up in the air, right above the spray.
My dream was very unusual. I was lying in my bed and I was beginning to be surrounded by think black smoke as the silhouette I saw earlier laughed. Makes you think.
See you on the other side.
He had a deep voice with an English accent.
I sounded a little more Australian than English, but it's alright.
Yeah. We take what we can get. Just as I was about to say something, I was engulfed in a spiral of light. That
is... Some people don't know when you use an F or a PH. And I've never seen anyone get confused from the word engulf.
Yeah,
Engulfed.
Engulf. Golf.
Wow.
Gulp it, yeah.
Now that is a spectacular accurance right there.
Yeah, that is a very spectacular accurance. As I started to wake up, I could tell it was morning time. That's called the circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
The sun had just come up. The birds were chirping.
Birds. Two birds.
Then I realized I haven't ever heard an Australian bird chirp. Only screaming bloody murder? What? All my Aussies in chat, do you have birds that chirp?
No, in Australia, in America, or really any place besides Australia, you hear the rooster crow, you hear the songbirds start to sing. In Australia, there's like a bird and it's flying, it lands on a branch and it goes, ah!
Yeah.
They sound like a bunch of kamikazes from Serious Sam, just...
The only birds you hear are like cassowaries just murdering people outside.
Yeah, I mean, parakeets, the budgie, that's from Australia, and anytime a whole bunch of those are flying around, it just sounds like kamikazes, it's like, it's terrifying.
Yeah. I began to open my eyes. I was in the middle of a meadow with only a few trees dotted around. At the end of the meadow, there was a thick, dark forest with a lot more trees dotted around. No, I added that last part. I was still fairly sleepy, so I lay on my back until I heard I gasp.
I gasp.
I got up quickly, concerned what was going on. In front of me were 7 different colored figures. I blinked slowly. When I figured out what they were, I jumped and stayed suspended a few feet of the ground.
Yeah, pulling a Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, pulling the Looney Tunes. Gonna look at the camera, hold up a sign, and then just like... The bottom half is gonna fall, and then the top half is gonna follow a little bit later.
Exactly.
Wile E. Coyote shit. I was flapping my wings, keeping myself off the ground. As I landed on the ground, I inspected my appearance. I had a peach-colored coat with orange, brown, and maroon hair.
Hideous combination. Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard that horses were colorblind, but gosh.
Yeah, maybe fan fiction authors are too. I turned to look at my cutie mark.
That is a Kataya mark.
Oh, Kutai mark, yeah. It was a Minecraft grass block with a paintbrush.
Why? Why?
I think that's one step worse than when someone's cutie mark is like a video game controller.
Yeah, or like, a skull or some edgy shit.
I do gotta say, though, they just kinda... You knew going into this story that, if they're a human at their start, they're gonna go to My Little Pony and turn into a horse. So they didn't even bother with, like, I was surprised to be a horse. I looked down at my body and then, explain how a horse looks. No, all that shit just happened. They just skipped past it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you know what you're signing up for.
Yeah, and this author knows. So they're not even going to be like, what? I was surprised? No, because all that shit is just like filler. You brush past that.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you are a brony, and I mean, I joke, but nothing against bronies, but if you are a brony, you know that at some point you are going to end up in My Little Pony. It happens to every single person who watches My Little Pony, especially if they write fanfic. I mean, then it's like, it goes from like a 99% chance to a 100.
Yeah.
You know you're going to end up there. So, I mean, at this point, it's ridiculous to even be surprised.
It's kind of weird. There was that show that came out and people were talking about it online, but everyone who was talking about it all disappeared.
It's a conspiracy theory. It's like, do you know anyone who watched My Little Pony and didn't disappear?
Yeah. But no, like, everyone feels they have to do that. So it is kind of a surprise when someone doesn't do that and just brushes past it.
Yep, they're like, yep, here I am.
And there's just like, I'm in My Little Pony now. Here's how I look. Let's get going.
I mean, even Staffs was surprised for like one line before he was like, hell yeah, free house.
Yeah. So I moved my wings around as well, trying to get used to my new form. The things surrounding me were none other than Twilight, Rarity, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, Applejack, Pinkie Pie, and Spike. Why, they all look concerned. Twilight was the first to speak up.
Are you okay? We found you unconscious near the Everfree Forest.
Did you bring her somewhere else? It sounds like she just woke up.
Yeah.
Did you find her somewhere else and then drag her to this other meadow near the forest?
Yeah, we dragged you away and put you in a wicker man.
It's like you get in a car wreck and you like stumble out of it and I run over and you're like, oh my god, are you okay? I found you next to this wrecked car. Aw, hi kitty.
Yeah, she just jumped up on my lap. Whenever she meows, she always sounds upset, though. She always jumps up and she's like, meow.
I spoke up, barely able to muster words. The ever-free forest? How? I stammered slightly.
Did Yowl hit your noggin?
Yowl. Applejack said loudly, taking a slight step closer to examine me for any abrasions.
Abrasions. Also, I like how cutie mark, becomes one word, rather than being cutie mark, it's cutie mark. But then Applejack becomes Applejack. Like, come on. Is that what they call on the show? It's like Twilight, like, hey, Applejack.
Please. Apple is my first name. Call me Ms. Jack.
Ms. Jack, yeah, and everywhere she goes, people are just like, do you know why you'll never be the winner? Because Cinnamon is the winner.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what? And it's like, those were Applejack commercials from when I was a kid, and kids these days don't know, and I'm like, God damn, I'm old.
Right.
I'm old. You don't remember the Applejacks commercials? Oh my God.
Blake, we're so old, man.
You remember them, right?
Yeah.
And they would always be racing to get to the bowl, and Cinnamon would get there first. And it's like nowadays I talk about that, and these kids look up from their TikTok, and they just give me a blank expression, and they're like, okay, boomer. And I'm like, no.
They say boomer is a state of mind, but that's just because your mind feels old so much earlier.
Yeah. This has been Blake and Connor's existential,
depressing
crisis corner. The crisis corner.
Crisis core, yeah. Wait! Are you from Trottingham? Pinky exclaimed, jumping on the spot slightly.
Well, at least it's better than Canterlot.
'Cause you have one strange accent. I was not sure how to respond to this really, so I did my best. No, I was from England, though near London. I probably should have started a British accent, but I'm just gonna keep being me. I moved to Australia.
Yeah, but do you want to have an English, though near London, then move to Australia accent?
I don't know.
It's the
that
impossible
seems really
voice.
specific. Yeah, maybe like one person in the world has that accent.
Yeah.
And it's this author. Pinky took a moment to take this in. While she was thinking, I bursted out. Please help me get home. Somehow I have ended up here, and I don't know how to get home. The group were quite shocked and puzzled at my outburst. How dare you,
want to get out?
Speak up about trying to get out.
Yeah, you're on our turf.
Yeah. Spike finally spoke.
Why would you need help? You obviously know where you live.
Was a single one of the places I mentioned a place in Equestria?
Dude,
Spike?
That's
Can you point me on a map of Equestria to where Australia is?
That's like the smart ass. That's like the mathematician's answer, where it's just like can I get some help? I don't know. Can you get some help? It's like please, can you help me get home? I'm from blah blah blah. Well, if you know where you're from, then why do you need me to tell you where to
Spike,
go?
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, Spike. You spoke once. Don't speak again.
Yeah. Speak when spiking to spoke. What?
Yeah. I lay down on my back, curled into a ball, and began to cry. I assume she's a horse, so, imagine that.
Yeah.
A horse is laying on its back, brings all four of its legs in, as a ball as much as it can. Sure. Some of them looked at me and Spike shrugged. God, Spike is such an asshole.
He really is.
Fluttershy came close to me and put her arm on my shoulder, comforting me. Oh. She was representing her element of harmony well. I mean, the others aren't doing anything.
No.
The others soon followed. She spoke in barely more than a whisper.
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear.
Why can't you get home? It's fine if you don't want to tell me, though. I wiped my tears and sat up again. The group sat around me, their faces full of concern. Twilight spoke.
Where are you really from? Because I know you were feeding me some red hot bullshit with that.
Yeah, some
England,
grade
though,
A
near
lies
London,
earlier.
Australia.
Yeah,
trying
I'm
to fucking.
sick of your shit. I ain't never heard of no place called Australia.
Why don't we just cut the crap and you tell me where you're actually from?
You know what happens to liars here in Ponyville.
Yeah.
I took a deep breath and began.
Yeah. Oh, man. And then the text gets smaller.
Oh my god, what?
I don't know.
Yeah, they messed up the formatting last chapter so that half of the, paragraphs got, all isolated in the code or something.
Yeah.
So on to chapter 2. So just as I was about to talk to the silhouette, I was engulfed in light.
You weren't about to talk to it, you looked at it, and then you left.
Yeah, it like said something and then
Yeah.
what was that whole part about, like her house getting broken into and seeing a figure and then going back to bed and carrying her laptop everywhere? And what is that? None of that mattered.
Yeah.
Hey, I finished my explanation and the 7 looked amazed. I had obviously left out the parts about me watching My Little Pony, having read My Little Dashie.
What is having read my... Like, that is a fanfic that I'm aware of. It's one of the most famous fanfics. Connor, in case you hadn't heard of it, it's about, like...
I've heard of it.
Yeah, you know it.
You know,
I was using you as an example for, like, the audience.
Right, but, like, it was good to leave out the part about you knowing everything about this universe you fell into.
Yeah, I can think of someone who doesn't have that same sense of tact.
Yeah. You did not learn about all of this from reading one fan fiction.
Yeah, but, like, what does My Little Dashie have to do with it? It's about, like, a guy, like, in the real world, Dashie shows up, and then he just adopts her like a child, and it's weird. And what is it?
Yeah, actually, that's, like, a terrible example because it doesn't take place in, you know, this universe.
Yeah, I mean, if you had, like, showed up and you were just like, I come from a world we call simply Earth. Hey, could you all turn around for me?
Yeah, it was like if someone fell into the Smurfs and was explaining about themselves, but left out the part where they watched the first Hollywood Smurfs movie.
Yeah, the part where
And
they
it's
watched that, like, hustler Smurf porno.
Yeah. Before I knew it, I was being bombarded with questions.
What did the silhouette look like? Oh, and this is obviously Applejack. Did going through the portal feel weird?
Gone.
Sugar cube?
Gone.
Going? Sugar cube?
What is your dog like? Do you like cupcake? What type of quilt did you acquire?
I like how we can immediately tell which character said what.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good by the author.
Yeah, like, we know that first one's Twilight. We know the next one's Applejack. We know that the Fluttershy would obviously be asking about the dog. Pinky asked about cupcakes, because haha, cupcakes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Rarity is like, oh, yes, fabric. Oh,
No, I mean, I've actually got to, like, I know I shouldn't give credit, but, like,
yeah. Well,
in one sentence of dialogue, you managed to,
clearly,
you know, kind of show which character was saying it without having to say it out.
It was good stuff, yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, it's like with the Alvin and the Chipmunks fanfic. If it's about food, you know, it's your boy Theo, because that's the...
Because he's one-dimensional.
Hey guys, remember when during Chipmunk 2 we managed to read a bunch of different stories from a bunch of different sites, from a bunch of different periods of time, and then all of them Theo appeared for like 2 lines to be like, hey guys, I'm really hungry.
Yeah. It was like, I didn't even know this was the stereotype.
Yeah.
Like, we stumbled into it being the stereotype.
Yeah, like go back and watch Chipmunk 1 and notice that Theo is there just as much as the other two, and then go watch Chipmunk 2 and realize
only
that
talk about food.
And then realize that, yeah, and then go back and watch Chipmunk 2 and realize that we somehow found a bunch of stories where he's barely there, and when he is, he just says something about food and leaves.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the big meta joke of Chipmunk 2. It's what really makes it for me. Going back and realizing that we stumbled into a bunch of stories where Theo is just not a presence.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. I tried my best to answer most of them. Twilight quickly stopped the others, seeing the nervous look on my face. She got up and the others followed. I tried to get up and instead fell back down. Are you suddenly having... See, I'm taking my props away. The character turned into a horse and had wings and was just immediately okay with it. No bullshit having to stumble around and learn how to walk like a horse or whatever. And now they're having problems.
Yeah, and she could fly immediately.
Yeah.
She flew without even thinking about it.
No one laughed except Rainbow Dash, although Spike did sticker slightly, because Spike's a complete asshole in this story.
And no one laughed except for 2 of the 7 people.
I swear, we're going to decide to just do like a pony month, and that running theme is we're going to find a bunch of stories where Spike's just a dick.
Yeah, exactly. The question is it going to be Month Little Pony or My Little Month?
Oh, Month Little Pony is so
bad, right?
Good in how bad it is.
Oh, my cat,
kitty.
She really wants to be on this video. She keeps hopping up on my lap, and then she rubs up against me, and then she just runs away.
Annoyed, I got up again, still wobbly, asked what was going to happen with me. God, what this sounds like they're going to feed her to a meat grinder or something.
Yeah. Oh, Rainbow Factor. I see what you did there.
Yeah. Oh, another OC is in Ponyville. Better line it up with the rest.
Just step into this room, please.
Yeah. Just step in front of this firing squad, please. Twilight put a hoof to her chin and said,
I'm not sure where you will stay while I find a solution. Oh, jeez, it really does sound like they're going to try and kill her. Maybe a hotel?
Double arrow, she added, hopeful that would take my fancy?
See, this is actually kind of a subversion, because usually the character's like, oh my gosh, even though you're a complete, jerk, and you creepily talk about how you watch our show, I like you, and you can stay in my house. Here it's like, yeah, if you could just stay anywhere but near us, that would be great.
Yeah, it's like everyone's kind of treating her reservedly, and it's like, oh, I don't know, where would someone who just literally appeared in town go stay? Do we have homeless shelters? Do we want to, I guess, give you enough money for a hotel for a night?
Yeah,
I don't know.
You can call the police and have you thrown in jail for trespassing in my mother flipping meadow.
Yeah. The pony logistics of pony society. I don't know.
Yeah.
You think they elect the mayor of Equestria because the mayor's gonna crack down on crime, stop the illegal drug trade?
Yeah. a vote for me is a vote against weed.
Yeah. I would, I began slowly, but I don't have any money for it. I plonked down on my butt and sighed. But,
oh my gosh.
It's fun.
I was going to say, my cat never ever wants to be in the video. Now she really wants to be in the video. We'll just have to find you a job then.
Twilight said cheerily.
I like how they're doing anything to avoid trying to help her out. Like I said, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah. I mean, they literally, they're not sure what to do because this new pony, cannot take care of themselves.
Disarmingly realistic.
Yeah, honestly.
So yeah, I see you have a Qtaya mark. So I guess we can look at that then, find a job based on it.
It was a good idea, I had to admit, but I didn't think there what really be any stable jobs for my talent.
Yeah, of course you wouldn't find a stable job. You're a horse. Everyone takes care of their own stable.
Yeah.
And what's the deal with feed bags? You know what I'm saying?
Despite the doubting look on my face, the group gathered around my flank. At first, they weren't sure what was my Qtaya mark was of.
Yeah. I still remember when me and all my friends would get together around one friend's ass and just stare at it.
Yeah.
The good old days.
Well, I mean, all of you developed, birthmarks on your ass that would tell you what you would be later in life.
Yeah, it's one of those things, squad ass check,
Yeah.
It's one of the things we do.
Check your vibes and then check your ass.
Yeah. Any member of the squad, you have to have another member, so you have to have their back, or you have to have their ass, I guess.
Right, yeah.
You don't let another member of the squad go out with like a dumpy looking ass. You need to give them that thumbs up.
Right, yeah. Although they did notice the paintbrush, they weren't sure what the Minecraft logo meant.
Jesus.
I don't have high hopes for this author either. I was staring down at their discussion about what my talent was.
Oh, man.
No, there will be a time for my thing to come up later. You paint blocks of grass and dirt? Pinky said, bewildered. I don't think there are any jobs in Ponyville for that. As if there aren't any somewhat abstract cutie marks on any ponies.
Yeah,
all of them are literally... your cutie mark is not literally your resume.
Yeah, if I were to warp in there, you'd look at it and you would just see like a big question mark because I'm undecided.
Yeah. Like if it was going by this logic, like they wouldn't let Applejack leave the apple tree. She's got apples on her flank. That's all she can do. She can't do anything except interact with apples.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you mind advancing on your cutie mark? Rarity began. What was your name, darling?
What was that sentence?
Yeah.
Would you mind advancing on your...
Yeah, they've gone a long time without this girl giving her name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, they've... Not even just in the story, like, they've chatted with her for like 10 minutes now. Just like that, yeah. Oh, I really wasn't sure if I should use my normal name or make up one. My name it Laurel, where I come from. Though half the people listening to this will hear Yanni instead.
Yeah.
That isn't a very good pony name, though.
Goddamn.
Wait, she said that out loud?
You're falling apart. You're falling apart, girl.
I trailed of, lost in thought. I realized I was supposed to be talking about my cutie mark.
You were doomed.
But first, giving them your name.
Your fucking cutie mark might as well just be a big fucking jar of Elmer's rubber cement.
Your cutie mark should be a bottle of Adderall.
Yeah.
Girl, go get tested.
Way too much codeine in Adderall.
Yeah. Well, I guess I liked drawing, and I would draw stuff from video games. The grass block represents a logo for a game. Ooh, Pinky said louder than ever. I get it.
All right, well, you can flip burgers at the local Pony McDonald's then.
Yeah.
Have fun. You might make manager someday.
The sun was getting lower in the sky, and I still didn't have a place to stay. We began to walk towards the town. Twilight offered for me to stay at her treehouse.
I gave you credit, and then it's like Bob always says, never give them credit because they will take it right back from you.
Yep. They're bankrupting both of us here. We are going to be left in shambles. We are going to only own OCs by the end of this.
Yeah, by the end of the story, rather than being like, well, thanks for watching, we're going to be like, welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Instead of saying thanks for watching, we're going to say, please, can you spare us some change? I mean, we kind of do that with our Patreon.
Yeah, well,
thing anyway, but
please.
But please, that's not enough. We've been reduced to destitutes.
Yeah, we're running low on banquet meals.
Yeah. This way, in the morning, she could interview me and help me to find a job. That's not how that works.
Yeah, Twilight runs a library / temp agency.
I mean, she basically does.
Yeah, I mean,
every OC that teleports in and has nowhere to go and nothing to do pretty much always goes through Twilight to move on.
Yeah.
Twilight basically is the temp agency.
Goddamn.
Yeah, like, she puts in the work and no one appreciates it.
Yeah, this one goes out to all of my, people working those 9 to 5s and you feel unappreciated.
Yeah. The group separated as everyone headed home after an eventful day. Yep, of finding me. Twilight, Spike, and I headed back to the treehouse. As soon as I knew it, I was lying in Twilight's spare bed, falling asleep with high hopes for tomorrow.
And then as soon as she falls asleep, Spike sneaks up and puts her hoof in a bucket of water. Bucket of warm water. She's like, this is
and then
great.
The two Twilight and Spike just prank the shit out of. Okay, so she said, my name, it's Laurel, where I come from. That isn't a very good pony name, though. And then nothing came of that, so I guess she's just Laurel.
No.
Like, it wasn't like, but you can call me Lori or something like that. But whatever. I've got low hopes for the next chapter, so let's move on. All right, chapter 3. I had a bad dream. It was the silhouette again. I was sitting in the bed Twilight had loaned me, and it was laughing at me evilly as the same black smoke surrounded me.
Yeah.
This time I was able to ask it for its name, and also format to the right side of the page.
Yeah, also, what? Was there black smoke before?
I think there was, but there was just a real bad misspelling.
Yeah.
In the attempt before. God, looking down on it, they have different fonts. Why can't they just format?
This is a mess. Also, I really like that. Yeah, and also there may have been black smoke before, but
It continued laughing till it finally said,
"Why on earth would I do that? It would spoil the fun."
And it continued laughing as its figure grew in size. Afraid what was going to happen next, I backed away from it, giving what last laugh before lunging towards B, about to devour me.
I feel like that paragraph is about to devour me.
Yeah. I woke up screaming, sitting upright on the bed. A bead of cold sweat trickled down my forehead. Twilight looked shocked at my sudden waking, well as Spike looked annoyed, drenched in cereal. With a tray and a bowl smashed on the floor. What happened?
Yeah, I like how he wasn't drenched with like milk from the cereal. He was just the. Then again, I don't really know what cereal is, so maybe it's a wet food.
Yeah, you don't put milk in cereal.
It's already wet on its own. It's like a can of tuna.
What the fuck happened?
He was taking her. He and Twilight were just watching her sleep, holding a tray of breakfast, waiting for her to wake up so they could give her the breakfast. So. And she shot out of bed, smashed the tray, and covered Spike with cereal.
I guess so. I wiped my forehead and took off the sheets, suddenly remembering my current form.
What time is it? I made you tea. Why did you make tea? I wanted it to be nice. Well, it wasn't nice for you to do it this early.
Yeah.
Fucking...
Yeah.
It's about a fun vacation.
My love for you is as grand as the canyon.
French kiss a French bulldog. Why do you want to do that? That's my favorite one. Just why do you want to do that?
Yeah.
That's it. We need to have a playlist for the channel that's like required watching, because there's Jake and Amir video. There's the fucking breakfast
top 10
one.
wines to butt chug.
The top 10 wines to butt chug, and then also Guanum's Great Adventure.
I think we just need to like teach the kids about Jake and Amir. I think we're too old. It came out too long ago.
Yeah, we teach kids about Jake and Amir, and then that one YouTube poop. It's just every time. A bird, like, 2 birds.
2 birds. Yeah. I'm really sorry, Spike, I said awkwardly, trying to apologize as the purple dragon took off his soaked apron. This is how I imagine this font sounds like. Yeah. He turned around carrying his apron, looking even more annoyed, and walked off to probably wash.
Nah, he probably just killed himself.
He probably just hung himself, yeah.
I'm guessing you didn't sleep well.
I reeled on the bed. I was being real on the bed. Yeah. None of that fake stuff.
Yeah, it's like, stop fucking around, just get real with me. So I reeled on him.
I reeled on the bed, changed my sitting position. How can a horse even have one sitting position?
I don't wonder if that ass don't sit like a horse, you know?
And began to explain my dream to her. As I finished, she looked more worried than ever. Oh, great. Not only do I have a lazy person, but I also have a crazy person. That's what she's thinking.
Yeah.
She stood there for a split second, mouth agape, before rushing downstairs, searching through her library. I followed, bewildered at her sudden searching. Only sat in the middle of the room as she dashed around me.
She dashed, but she's Twilight. My Little Pony jokes.
Spike came and stood next to me with fresh breakfast of toast and a new apron.
Yeah, he wasn't, he learned his lesson. If he brought more cereal, the law of comedy dictates it would have happened again, you know?
It's probably still going to happen again.
It'll just be a lot less funny because it's toast.
Trying to think of the most funny thing that could happen with toast. No, I can't do it, really.
Yeah, toast is a very non-funny breakfast.
Yeah. Does she do this often? I asked, looking down at the dragon, who looked simply bored.
Actually, there are 2 instances where toast is funny. When people will see Jesus in a piece of toast, or there's that classic toast scene from the Shyamalan movie Devil. Remember that?
No, I don't know.
Well, the guy has a piece of toast covered with jelly, and he throws it in the air, and it flips through the air, and it lands jelly side down. I think it's jelly side down. It's one of the two, and he says, yeah, that's how you know the devil's around. When the devil's around, toast always lands jelly side down. And it's not a joke. It's just to be like a serious thing where they're all like, oh shit, the devil's here. And it's like,
that's dumb.
Did you write that down and then look at it and not realize that that's the stupidest thing ever written?
Damn, that's pretty dumb.
Yeah, it says that in the Bible. Flip a piece of toast, how it lands. That's how you know the devil's around. I always keep a set of jelly, a jar of jelly, and a bunch of slices of toast so I can just check whenever I need to.
Yeah, when I go try to exorcise a demon, I bring a cross, holy water, and jellied toast.
Fucking. Even in an okay Shyamalan movie, there has to be something weird.
Yeah.
Yeah!
He said in a exasperated tone.
That's another spectacular accurrance right there.
Oh my god.
There's plenty of misspellings in this. See, this has a good balance. I like it when there's a misspelling like once every couple of sentences, and it's always a good one.
Yeah, like a new word we've never seen before.
It's good. It's good pacing, to get from the title to exasperated, surreal. They're just spaced nicely.
Yeah.
Wheel only when she makes a breakthrough.
She recovered from a drug addiction.
Yeah, I don't know. He added sarcastically, "After he finished, we went back to watching Twilight Search. She kept it up for another 5 minutes before pulling a dusty old volume from the top shelf. She plonked herself down, exhausted, as she frantically flipped through the pages with her magic. By this time, I felt safe to stand closer to her as she stopped about halfway into the book." I don't know why you felt safer. No, but whatever.
I mean, she was really going ham searching for that book.
Yeah, if you got in her way, she'd have, impaled you on her unicorn horn.
Goddamn. Of course, why didn't I realize it sooner?
I sat down with her. Her eyes darted from side to side as she read at incredible speed.
It's like the equivalent of listening to Matt type. You just see those eyes just and the pages are just flipping. It's like, god damn.
Twilight? I gently prodded her with my hoof as I spoke. She looked up in fury as she had been interrupted, and I stepped away quickly. I turned for Spike's support, but he had obviously left ages ago.
Item head out.
Everyone is an ass.
That's my attempt to try and fight my old person thing. I find like a meme that younger people are using, and I just use it as much as I can.
Yeah. Twilight's fury melted away as she asked what I wanted, still with an annoyed tone. It's not even like an exaggerated stereotype joke of she's raging and then she puts on a nice and helpful face. No, she was genuinely pissed at getting interrupted, and she does the minimum effort to hide it.
Yeah, this story is disturbingly realistic, but it's
disturbingly realistic, like a subversion. The characters are dicks to each other.
Yeah, Connor, imagine you were reading a book trying to find something, and I walked up to you and I was just like, "Hey, Connor," and I punched you in the arm.
Yeah.
You'd be like, yeah?
This character, this main character, does stupid things and gets
called out.
Gets apt treatment. It's
I love
weird. Yeah. But it's not offensive things. It's just...
She's just kind of a wet blanket and kind of useless.
Yeah, and the other characters have picked up on that.
Yeah.
Where are you going to help me with a job? Not a sentence either. Is there a single question mark in this story? I faded out, still cautious of Twilight's temper. She thought to herself and realized that there would not be an easy way to weasel out of this. Applejack would be her first choice, but she is busy with harvest.
So she could use a helper then.
Yeah, she could use a helper, but she doesn't want this person.
Yeah, as I say, sometimes it'll slow down production. So what do I do again? I put the red apples in what basket? With the other red apples. You put the red apples in the basket that has red apples. Maybe you should go help Pinkie Pie.
Oh, I see.
I was being Applejack, being really annoyed trying to train this incompetent
I thought you
person.
meant Twilight could use a helper, because we've seen that in a bunch of these.
Yeah.
But really doesn't want to do it. This author, I imagine in this story, if the story continued past chapter 4, this character would stumble through all of the generic pony advancement tropes of oh wow, you learned magic. Oh wow, you're even better at magic than anyone else kind of thing. But it would be this same type of disdain at every part of it.
Yeah. I imagine it would be it's Ernest when he, in one of the classic Ernest films, he always saves the day, but he's stumbling and bumbling and everyone's annoyed with him the whole time.
Yeah. But Pinkie would be good, giving her knowledge of pony folk, but she doesn't take things that seriously.
Why
That's
so
not
serious?
Enough of a reason to not point her to Pinkie Pie.
Yeah. Well, she's trying to spare her friends.
Oh, I see.
Because it says she's trying to weasel out of it. She really doesn't want to have to dump this person on any of her friends.
Yeah. Rarity is working on an ensemble for an important client. Rainbow Dash is free, but she didn't think she would be the best for job advice, as she is barely keeping her
Jesus
own.
Christ. Rainbow Dash.
Yeah,
is Rainbow
Dash. She's an all right person, but man, she just like lives paycheck to paycheck. Maybe if she stopped, I don't know, buying such expensive things.
Yeah, she's like on a rainbow dive.
You know, she worked hard and saved up money. You know, she could own a home.
Yeah.
She's just not working hard enough.
Yeah, it's true. You never see her in a house. You always see her like lying on a cloud. She's like essentially just on park benches.
Yeah. Rainbow Dash is the equivalent to that one, like, free-spirited person who like says, "Oh, it's great that I could go like do whatever I want and whatever," but then they just work at Starbucks.
Yeah,
or something.
it's like that meme you found that one time, the wage slave thing.
yeah.
I still have that if you want to put it on screen.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And Fluttershy, well, she's not the most helpful with these things. God, even if Twilight wasn't trying to spare her friends, that's a real dickish attitude.
Yeah, well, Rainbow Dash is a failure, and Fluttershy is useless, and
Yeah, if only we just had a good capitalist pony with a hard work ethic who, always said yes to their boss, and was just the ideal worker. Why do all my friends have to have their own quirks and different personalities? Why can't one of them just be like the ultimate sales pony?
No. It's like that one, it's like in Angst Much. It's like, Twilight would be better if she was more normal, and Fluttershy would be better if she was more normal,
Yeah.
Pinkie Pie would be better if she was more normal.
Yeah. Twilight sighed and agreed. I jumped happily despite the slightly ticked expression on her face.
Twilight is like this, it's like just this close to just kicking her out and saying, fuck off.
Like, I've only known you for less than a day, but I still want to evict you from my home.
You're on my last nerve. You started on my second to last nerve, and you quickly got to the last one.
Yeah, oh my god. Alright, well, one more chapter. Chapter 4. We strolled down the streets with me taking in every detail of my surroundings. As we walked, I tested out my wings. I rose a few feet before coming down in a heap.
God, can't do anything.
Yeah,
Can't
it was
walk.
like beginner's luck. She did everything without thinking. And then as soon as she, acknowledged that she's a pony and has wings and all of that, all her limbs just,
Yeah. Throw up that
fail.
Garfield strip where it's like Garfield and Odie are running around and they climb up a tree, and then John shows up and he's like, "Odie, dogs can't climb trees." And then in the last panel, Odie looks like shocked. He's like having a non-flashback, and Garfield is like, "It's amazing what one can accomplish when one doesn't know what one can't do."
You might have to, send me a folder of all this stuff you're asking me to put in.
Yeah. You see, I read at the library, whenever I wanted an easy book for the summer reading contest, I'd always grab a Garfield book. So
Yeah.
and my
reminds me of when I had to do a book report for school on any book of my choice, so I just picked a collection best of Mad magazine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We should get Rainbow Dash to give you flying lessons while I go somewhere far away.
Yeah.
You don't talk
Twilight
to me.
said, giggling at my misfortune. Every time. We strolled around the street and found a few jobs with no specific skills required.
Yeah, this
Hey,
job,
perfect for this author.
Yeah, pretty much anyone can do this job. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know.
hey.
You haven't met this person. I'm right here, Twilight. Yeah, I know.
Hey, few jobs with no specific skills required sounds right up this author's alley.
Yeah.
We also found a few jobs for drawing, such as mural ads in the paper. While Twilight checked out a milk bar, I stood outside.
Yeah. It's like a bar, but they only have milk.
Does Twilight need to get plastered after even 30 minutes of dealing with this person?
Yeah, it's like when SpongeBob has all those Sundays, in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and he gets schwasted.
Yeah.
I've done that.
I heard a faint psst coming for a near alleyway.
Hey, you.
Hey, Allie, you want to get over here? We're putting some buildings down right here, but we're not going to put them right next to each other.
Yeah.
It'd be a perfect spot for you.
I've got a great job. We're building this house, and why don't we just build you into the wall?
Yeah. Why don't you just climb into the cement mixer right now? I ignored it, only to find it get louder. Psst. I turned and looked down the dark alleyway. I could see a faint figure. Before I could reply, it pulled me over into the alley.
Oh, man.
Wow,
I'm
okay.
way late on this, but it's like the classic dad joke, where it's just like, You know, it's like, oh, you need a job? Well, I heard there's an opening down at the cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I went down to the cemetery, and there was a grave, and they said, why don't you just climb in and die?
I understood the joke.
Yeah.
The first half. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if everyone tries to lead this person to the cemetery. Before I could reply, pulled me over into the alley. Shocked, I tried to get away, nervous. What was going to happen? Again, not a question. This author just does not know what question marks are. The figure spoke in a calm, gentle, familiar voice.
Let's see. Which one? Which doctor should I do? Eccleston, Tennant, you know, I'm probably going to stick with one of the later ones.
Yeah, just pick one.
Well, I probably can't do a good impression of any of them, so I'm not even going to say which. You people in the comments, you try to figure out which one I went for and completely failed at. Shh, it's okay. I know where you are from.
I still wasn't sure who the person was. He led me further into the alley and lit a lamp illuminating his face. I was the one and only Dr. Hooves.
My bad. You should have been doing the doctor of your choice.
You're right. I turned into this character all of a sudden. Crazy, isn't it?
This next line has a whole new dimension to it.
Yeah, well, I didn't say anything. Too shocked to speak at all.
I'd be pretty shocked, too, if I was suddenly someone else.
Yeah. The doctor simply ignored it, though.
Your friend will be in there a while.
I still did. Oh my God, Twilight's just pounded down those milk cartons or whatever.
One more, please. I swear to God, I need
Bartender,
it.
give me another. Yeah. Put it on my tab.
Yeah.
I want to wake up tomorrow forgetting that I ever woke up today.
Yeah, with a nice warm bowl of cereal.
Yeah. I still didn't speak.
All I wanted to say is, I will give you a hand here, or rather a hoof.
He added the last bit, obviously still getting into habit.
All I wanted to say is that if you want to come over to lunch, you can. I know where to get English muffins, because I'm English, get it?
Yeah. He have me a slip of paper and vanished down the alleyway. Shrugging, I walked out onto the street. Twilight came out of the shop before I could read the paper he gave me. Wow.
Oh.
Twilight was not in there a while. Twilight was only in there for like 20 seconds.
No.
But Twilight said that she got me a job there.
It doesn't mean you have to keep working there. I'll buy you some art supplies and you can sell those. But I'm an artist. Yeah, well,
Yes.
if you're as good as art as you are at, living life, then yeah, you'd be better off just selling that shit.
Yeah, what? Was that? Oh, probably means like, I'll buy you some art supplies, you can do things with them, you can make things and sell those, but yeah, it just sounds like, hey, the black market on art supplies is crazy right now. If you sell these, if you flip these, you can get so much cash.
Yeah, under Equestria's new, regime, we're not allowed to do anything creative, so.
Yeah.
It's like Milo Xyloto.
Wow, yeah. She tried to sound as kind as possible, but she dropped the act as she said.
I'm sorry.
Like, we're not making jokes. We're not putting something there where there's nothing. This story constantly and consistently has Twilight be really annoyed with this character.
She really doesn't like her at all.
Twilight hates having to deal with this character.
Yeah, I mean, this could exist in a universe where OCs show up left and right, and she always has to sort their shit out for them because they're always some useless layabout who, spends all their time in the real world just sitting around jerking off to ponies and nothing else. And so she's like,
oh my God. I gotta stop and just really think back. It was so sad that this person, Laurel, I only said their name once. It was so sad that Laurel teleported in, and when the other ponies were like, here, let's look at your cutie mark and see what you're good at, and we can find you a job, Laurel was genuinely like, I don't think that's going to be a lot of help.
Yeah.
Like, you realize, the author, the human being, don't have a lot of skills that will get you a job that will help you do anything. Like, it's like you're already resigned to live in your parents' basement. That's real fucking sad.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that. Maybe.
No, it was fine.
But like,
that's why I didn't interrupt.
That line just really kind of. I mean, in a story full of things where the dialogue is never what I expect it to be. based on, having read a bunch of these before. Like, that one line was just, like, really sad.
No, it's like, they know how sad this is, and that makes it really sad.
I mean, I kind of relate to that. Like, I really did not want to, like, get a job in high school, and I, dragged my feet pretty hard on even getting, like, a part-time job in college. Yeah. And I was just like, I didn't get an internship or anything. So when I, graduated, I had those thoughts of like, oh, Jesus, I don't have, much on my resume compared to everyone else. Like, I didn't end up, slumming it in my parents' basement, but still, like, as much as you want to go like, I don't want to do anything. I'd rather just stay home and be lazy. Like, there will always be a point where everything that you made yourself do before will help you out later on. And being able to show that you did all of that will help you out later. Not everyone, can get in through nepotism. You can't rely on that.
Yeah, like when you're sitting at home and you've got a choice between like opening up Indeed and applying for a job or reading one more My Little Pony fic, you've got to make that call, because that call is not going to make itself.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a motivational speaker. To be a motivational speaker, you just have to say stuff like that. It's just like, when you're sitting there, just, drinking the nights away, you got to look between that bottle and something that's not that bottle, and you've got to make that call, because that call is not going to make itself. Always work to that line. That motivates people. They love that. They love, you got to make the call. That call's not going to make itself.
Yeah, you just have to say, like, obvious things, because it's always like, duh, yeah, I could do this instead of that or something. But, like, people need other people to tell them what to do sometimes. Yeah. And I'm also coming at that from a place of genuine sincerity. Like, there have been things where I know I have a problem. I know I don't do enough, but left to just my own devices, I don't want to think about it. Or maybe I even sabotage my thinking. Maybe I only think of the hardest, most time-consuming, most effortful answer to it so that I could talk myself out of trying anything. And then I talk to someone else about it, and they give me an option, and suddenly it's kind of like, well, now that person maybe expects me to try that. Now that person's going to ask me how I did. Yeah. And so I guess I should do that. I guess I should follow that schedule.
Goddamn.
Get a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. These My Little Pony stories, I've talked about this before.
Well, this is My Little Pony is always our chance to get serious, Yeah. To let you all know how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Twilight, now can I please get back to studying? For the love of Pony Christ.
Dear God, you're off my hands now. You start this milk bar job in like 10 minutes. Yeah, just stay here. Do that.
Yeah, and at the end of her shift, she goes to Twilight's house, and like she goes to knock on the door, and there's a sign that says "For Lease."
There's a sign that says foreclosure. Because Twilight is moving out of Ponyville, so she doesn't have to ever talk to this person again.
Yeah, I don't know why you would lease your house. I don't know what the hell I was saying.
Well, I mean, Twilight's trying to get in on that Airbnb.
Oh, yeah.
Own property and make it all the renter's fault when something happens.
That Airbnb we stayed at was pretty sweet, though.
Yeah, no, that one was good. So, as soon as I began to say yes, she quickly teleported home. What she was up to, I did not know, but I might as well explore.
No, go do the...
No,
she just got you a job.
Go work.
She just got you a job. It's like the end of Superman 3. I'm referencing all the stuff people are totally familiar with. Where Superman picks up Richard Pryor and he drops him off the construction site or whatever, and he's like, all right, here you go. Here's a job. And he's just like... And they're like, all right, well, do you want it? And he's like, nah, man, I'm just going to leave. And he leaves. God damn.
And that's also the end of the story.
Actually, Superman 3, now I think it kind of is a self-insert story for Richard Pryor's character.
I mean, Richard Pryor's funny. I wish he self-inserted into more things.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah. Well, that revelation aside, we have 6 reviews, all from Blade.
Oh.
Your cool dude, Blade. I'm just going to click with his name real quick to see if he has a self-insert. Blade's crossover. Yes! Fuck yes! Fuck yes!
Oh my God. 6 reviews 5 of them are on chapter 1.
And the author responded to all of them.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess starting from the bottom, which is the earliest.
Yeah, pull a Drake.
12 or so periods. Dude or dudette. This is awesome. Just awesome. I say that a lot.
Yeah.
So yay, it's my way of saying this is an awesome story. Oh, and BTW, if you need anything, just tell me if it's ideas for your story or if you just want me to look at another story. I'll be happy to help.
Man, my boy Blade one is thirsty right now.
Yeah.
I'll be a man who will fight for your honor.
Yeah. Author's response. Thank you so much for your response. I am a 13-year-old dudette, and this story is based on a dream I had about my OC.
Well, you didn't have to say that because that's literally how all these stories are. It's always, this is about my OC who was just me and I had a dream.
Yeah.
My life consists of watching My Little Pony and then dreaming I was in My Little Pony.
Anyway, if you read this, please tell me more about you. Are you a dude or dudette?
Dude, we're seeing a romance for the ages.
Yeah, Blade and Pegasus sisters. Yeah, hook it up through the power of fanfiction.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I might as well be Blade now if the author responds to everything, so.
Sure.
I'm a dude. Catface. Anywho, yay, I would like to, yay, oh god. I would make, it's another hive mind, dude.
Spreading.
Yeah. Yay, I would make chapter 3 longer. No offense about your story, but it's your story. Anywho, would you mind checking out my story called The New Element? Catface, thank you. Doing some nagging.
Oof. So, author's response. Still working on chapter 3. I was doing it in class and the teacher found out and read it over my shoulder and made me shut my laptop.
Yeah.
Oh.
We've talked about this. Could you please not write your self-insert fanfiction in class? Please.
Yeah, maybe if you paid attention, you'd have learned how to spell more words.
Yeah.
You'd have learned about question marks.
And then Blade is like, and for the record, I'm 15, and sadly I can't tell you my name because I don't want some stalker looking at me at night. Anywho, I also had a dream about my OC. It's wired, but I posted 7 chapters already. Anywho, going off topic, sorry, I just have a tendency to talk.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Author's response.
This is a cringe for the ages.
Yeah, oh god. I turned 13 only a few days ago, and I've been checking out a few of your stories, and they are very well written. Keep writing.
Yeah, you turned 13 a few days ago, but somehow you're like 14 years more mature than this fucking idiot.
Yeah, seriously. Sure, Pegasus sisters didn't know some big words, but like, the responses are way better constructed than Blade's
Yeah,
writing.
you sound like fucking all these anywho's are like Chipmunks for Life 101. That dude supposedly has a kid. And somehow he's less mature than Blade.
Alright, so Blade finally reviews a different chapter.
Yeah. I think I know what that dark matter is. It took me a while, but I figured it out, but I won't expose the secret.
And then the author's response is just, what are you on about?
Blade, could you please not?
Blade, you started out alright, but you're like, you're just making this worse,
fucking
man.
flop sweat all over.
Yeah, you're making this weirder and weirder.
Oh. Thank you for the positive comment, but right now I am facing major writer's block right now. Why are you making this about you? So I won't be writing for a while. X-Face. I don't particularly give a shit. You're reviewing her story.
God, is he gonna have, like, run her off the website or something? But, author's response, it's fine what I do in a writer's block. I play video games, watch something online, eat my favorite food, or sleep.
I think that's all you do anyway.
Yeah, I think that's what you do whenever.
Yeah.
I don't do it all the time, but you know when you are lying in bed waiting for sleep, keep a notepad or something next to you, because that is normally when you think of good ideas.
True.
Semicolon D.
True, though.
Yeah, I guess they're kind of right, but that's just because, like, I need to do things during the day, so, like, I don't think about, like, my cool fictional story until I've done everything I need to do.
Yeah, Connor lies down and he's like, wait a minute, what if I teleported into my favorite fandom and I was really powerful? Oh my god, what a fucking idea. And then he just hops on his, grabs his notepad and is like, I'm gonna finish this tomorrow, man. I'm gonna blow up.
One more review.
The dark figure, I know who it is. No, you don't, bud.
Author's response, semicolon D, not surprised.
Man, you were a lot more patient. Yeah, you had more patience than Twilight did with your character.
Yeah.
Because Twilight was responding to Blade. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. I don't even know if he would have made it past one review. I think he would have just been dead.
Twilight would have, like, called the guards and had you escorted off to pony jail.
Yeah. Had him drawn, quartered, and turned into glue.
Yeah, but damn. The brightest stars burn out the soonest. That was a spectacular accurance. And just stop there, no more.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you for watching, and an extra special thanks to our Platinum D-Hole patrons, ODST795 and Polly Hebert. If you've been enjoying our content, we would appreciate Patreon support at any level. Even $1 a month will grant you perks in the public Discord and on the monthly Patreon poll. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.